podcast with Quinshon, it feels like he's been here longer than just the roughly 3 or so weeks in the season that he has been. Just how has he come along, and how have you seen him kind of handle an increasing role, it seems like, week by week?
And truthfully, he has. When you go back and count OTAs, camp, he has been here longer. Of course, he wasn't here through training camp, but being able to come in doing OTAs in camp and be able to get the foundation of our offense was really good for him. And it's showing up now, of course. Q was a smart kid, man. He was studying. He always studies. He calls me all the time, asking good questions. We get a chance to talk over the phone to make sure that everything is good and tight. So I have no worries when it comes to that.
He's obviously a kid that as he gets more carries, it seems like he gets better, as the game gets longer. Has it been thought about, getting him more involved earlier to kind of accelerate that, that process?
Yeah, that's a sign of a good running back. He gets better as he gets carries because, of course, you get into the mood and you kind of understanding how things are going to be blocked, getting into your groove with the linemen. So good running backs get better as they get the ball more. Of course, Kevin is conscious of that, and I'm pretty sure that as we go along and Q continue to progress, things will get better.
Dylan, obviously played a bunch in that first game when Q wasn't there, and then less the last 2 weeks. So how do you find the right role for him now with Q back?
Yeah, well, with Q last week, of course, the running game, we wanted to go downhill a little bit more, a little duo scheme, and just kind of going straight downhill with Q, and we were able to be successful doing that. We'll be able to mix Q in. Dylan's fine. Being able to come out the first week, he was able to be elusive, as you saw, be able to catch the ball, make people miss, and also was productive in the run game when he had a chance with his carries. We'll be able to get a 1-2 punch going along with Jerome. Actually, it's a 1-2-3 punch along with Jerome, and things will be fine.
See what David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs even did last weekend. Does that almost give you some visions of what you could see your guys do?
Each team is different. And, of course, those are two great running backs over there. And those guys have been doing it now for a couple of years, being able to, once again, be that 1-2 punch. We're looking to develop something like that here, of course, but you got to find your groove.
In the spring, we talked about Dylan taking a bunch of reps in the slot receiver. Is that some way you think you can maximize his talents and get him on the field more?
Never know.
And just, he's the 38-yard run last week, the 31-yard run towards the end of the game the week before. How important are those kind of explosive plays for him at this stage? He didn't get one a game or every other game.
It's important for our offense to have those explosive run plays, any explosive play, no matter run or pass. But you're talking about the two, of course, Q had. It's very, very important. We want to go into a game and get a certain amount of explosives in the run game and in the pass game. So, of course, we look at those and we're searching and hunting for more.
Being able to use him on offense, just how does that help you?
It's been awesome, man. And I see that kid come into the huddle, he lights up. I mean, he has a huge smile because he got the opportunity to knock somebody out. So that's what he's coming in to do.
Going back to Quinshon, just his pass blocking. There was a play against Green Bay. Somebody was coming up the middle, and he just sort of caught him and knocked him. Just how is he, the way he's kind of evolved as a pass blocker in an admittedly short time span. What have you seen out of him there?
Well, you were able to go back to the college film and also look at how aggressive he was as a pass blocker, as a protector. And he takes pride in it. So when I had a chance to meet with him this offseason, OTAs, we were talking through protections and talking about the mentality with protections and the approach. And, from the chip on Parsons to the play that you're talking about, he's going to be aggressive. So a couple things we got to continue to clean up in the protection, which, you always got to clean things up. But as long as they have the mentality, you can coach it.
After the game, the game time touchdown, Quinshon said he wants the football in those situations. Do you see that in him every day? The guy that wants
Yeah, and that's what you want from your running back. You want a running back that wants the ball at all times. Now he's not going to be able to get it, of course, at all times, but that's why you harp on when you do get the opportunity, take full advantage of it. But he definitely has that.
Is he the kind of runner that kind of gets stronger as the game goes along, and will be able to hit that home run probably in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, I mean, like we just talked about that earlier, just being able, every good runner gets stronger as the game goes along simply because they get more carries. And they're able to, of course, get a good feel from the line, understand how the defense is playing, being able to make adjustments on the sideline. You're breaking tackles, you get stronger.
Is that what you saw? Back-to-back carries and started that first scoring drive?
Yes.
Sunday?
Yes, I did. I was able to see exactly that. And Coach saw it, too. So that's why Coach was able to call it the way he did. Thank you.
How we doing? All right.
Start, would you say that Miles is off to so far?
He's off to a great start right now. Really happy for him because he's worked extremely hard throughout the offseason, especially preseason. Just this preseason camp, he just came in just extremely focused, ready to go. And every day he comes out there with a purpose. So, and you're seeing that live out on the field right now. He understands how people are going to attack him, and he knows what he wants to do. He has a plan, and he sticks to the plan the entire game.
You talked about working out with Malik during the off season. Just how much have you seen those two kind of work off of each other, and sort of that off-season work kind of pay off in what you see with them on the field?
I worked with Malik in Houston, and when I heard that he was available, I jumped at the opportunity. And credit to AB and those guys for doing a great job bringing him in and just bringing in guys that are attack guys. As far as those two are concerned, right away, right off the bat, me and Malik talked, and I said, hey, we got one right now. This kid's gonna be really good. He just needs a little refinement, and Malik just kind of just took it over from there. Just started off as big brother, and he's just done a great job of just talking through rushes with Mason, and then just working with him every single day. They go out early, they work on their rushes together, they make sure that they're on the same page. So, it's really good to see all that happening right now, especially with all the attention that Miles is getting. Now you're seeing that, guys away from Miles are winning their one-on-ones and rushing together. So it's really fun to watch right now.
Last week, Jim talked about Mason taking those next steps as an interior rusher. What does that look like for you, and what are maybe some steps he's taken over these first three?
It looks like what it looked like last Sunday. Okay, and honestly, he's been having those opportunities all year long. And now it's finished. I tell the guys all the time, hey, look, you're in a race right now, and you're in a race versus Myles Garrett. Okay, Miles gonna have 2-3 guys on him. So guess what? That means that he's giving you guys a head start, and so he's done a really good job of just sticking to the basics, sticking to what he knows, what he can do, and just working those rushes. And like I said, when a guy comes in and he's young and into the NFL, he wants to do everything, and he thinks he can make every play. And he just Mason understanding where he fits, his role in our defense, and where he is going to get those opportunities. He's not always going to be away from the center slide, so he has to work some of those rushes. But when he is away from the center slide, he got to get busy, and he got to go, and he got to go fast.
Lions OC John Morton saying that you guys, haven't faced a running game like theirs yet.
For me personally, I coach, I don't play. and I don't have anything to say about things like that. For me and the guys, we're all about just working. We don't need to say anything. We don't need to respond to anything. We're just going to go out there, work, play our butts off for 4 quarters, and then we'll see at the end.
Miles, I think it was last week, Miles said he thinks the sample size is a little too small to say this is the best he's ever played, but looks like this might be the best he's ever played. Is that what you're seeing?
Yeah, I mean, I've only been with Miles now, just going on my second year, but he's playing really, really well right now, and he has a very, very high standard for himself, and you know, he whatever it is, if it's a passing situation and he's not close to the quarterback, or at least in a position to hit or sack the quarterback, then he's not going to feel good about it. And he's always going to think about it and analyze it and see how he can get more out of that situation. So I understand what he's talking about as far as him not thinking that this is his best start, you know, because he has high standards and high goals. At the end of the day, I'm happy the way he's playing right now. And whatever he needs to do to keep going on this track, I hope he's doing it.
The least amount of running yards allowed. So as a defensive line, what are you just seeing from the way that those guys are able to stop the run, take guys down behind the line of scrimmage, and just their success in the run game so far?
Yeah, you know, I always start every year by telling the guys that if it gets past us, it's our fault. You know, at the end of the day, and I know that's a lot to put on the defensive line, and I understand there's, you know, run fits and there's scheme issues and things like that. But I want them to think how I feel about them, is that they're the best defensive line in the NFL as far as I'm concerned, and they have to play up to that every single snap. And so if it gets past us, it's our fault. So they take a lot of pride in doing exactly what we ask them to do. Fitting the run is the way we want them to fit it, attacking, penetrating, creating havoc in the backfield. And you know, we're always looking like, hey, you know, they got way too many leaky yards right there. We got to shore this up. And they're always talking to each other. So it's a defensive line that has a lot of pride in themselves and how they work. So I'm extremely excited about that. And you know, every week is going to be a challenge. Every week you got great offensive lines and running backs and great schemes coming at us. So we just got to keep doing a good job of what we do best, which is attack, reset the line of scrimmage, close on the ball, and then rush when we have to.
Go ahead, Scott. When you were talking about Malik earlier, do you feel like he gets overlooked when we talk about some of the best D tackles in the league, and what is it about his skill set that you like so much?
You know, the best part about Malik is he don't care. You know, and he's, you know, he is a professional, probably one of the best professionals I've ever been around. Meticulous, detailed notes. He is a student of the game. He understands how to rush a quarterback. He understands how to rush protection, and he just works at it every single day, and he holds everybody accountable to it. You know, there's these rush opportunities are very few and far between, and he does a good job of maximizing every single opportunity that he gets.
That first half a sack on Sunday, but you guys are using him in obviously so many different ways in all three phases. Just what has it been like to coach him?
Yeah, Turtle Time. No, he's awesome. You know, first of all, great young man, and extremely smart, extremely humble, and just works his butt off. And the same type of guy. He doesn't care how many snaps he gets. He doesn't care where it's at. Just give him an opportunity, and he's gonna produce. And I've enjoyed working with him. I'm going to continue to enjoy working with him. I love to see his development and how he's playing the run a lot better than he was when it was the preseason. And you know, the sky's the limit for that kid. You know, he has a tremendous skill set that not a lot of people his size have. And we're looking to exploit that in all facets of the game, you know, defense, offense, and special teams. So really excited for Aiden right now.
The Lions, in the last couple of games, they haven't allowed a sack. They've allowed very, very little pressure on Jared. They ran for 200 plus against Baltimore. Mm-hmm. Do your guys sort of look at that and sort of salivate at the challenge of, we've seen what they've done. We want to kind of prove that.
You know, for us, it's next game up mentality, and we just look at every challenge different. You know, hey, here's what they're doing this week. This is what they're trying to get done. You know, this is the offensive line. This is the scheme. You know, here's where we can get our opportunities, and they just do it. They don't try and force anything. You know, they play the game the way it's supposed to be played. They play within the defensive scheme, and they work. You know, we're going to be playing a very disciplined, gritty, high effort team. So we got to match that discipline, that grit, that high effort. because it's going to be a slugfest, and they understand that. So I think they're more excited about that, just getting the opportunity to go out and play football, old school, knock them in the mouth football, and the guys that we have in the room love doing that.
In the first half where I thought I saw like you and when Miles was not in the game, maybe on first and second down, you guys were kind of talking some things through over there on the sidelines. I mean, is it hard to keep him off the field on those downs, or are you guys talking about what he's going to be able to do on third down, or what happens during those?
Yeah, we talk about all types of crazy stuff down there. But, with Miles, obviously, you don't want to wear a guy like that out, and you want him to be at his best. And luckily for us, we have great guys coming right behind him. Alex Wright, Isaiah McGuire, Cam Thomas, Joe Tryon. All those guys can play for any NFL team. And all those guys understand their role, and they know, like, hey, if Miles not in the game, we got to take advantage of our opportunity, and that's what you're seeing happening. Alex had a great sack the other day. Joe Tryon came in, limited reps, and had 4 tackles. Cam Thomas, he didn't make the stat sheet, but if people go back and watch that game and see what Cam was doing to people in that game, he'd probably get arrested. I mean, it's physicality, it's fun. They're playing with a lot of swagger right now, and I'm really enjoying coaching these guys.
Last one. I mean, this is a guy that was a healthy scratch in week 1 last year. Now he's one of your key starters. What has it been like kind of watching him develop into what he is now?
Yeah, no, it's been great, and I remember last year when I got here and I told Isaiah, hey man, you remind me of Jonathan Grenard and the way he was when I first got to Houston. And Isaiah is just kind of he's reveled in that role of coming in and just doing everything he needs to do to help us win. And again, another guy that's just selfless. He doesn't try and force anything. Whatever comes his way, he's going to make the play at the point of attack. If he's away from the point of attack, he's going to run that thing down. And the way his rushes have been developing, you're not always going to get home, and it's not always going to show up in the stat sheet. But the things that he does, as far as collapsing the pocket, bending the corner and making the quarterback get off his spot, those things are invaluable. So I'm excited for Isaiah. All those guys, Isaiah, Alex, Joe, Cam, all those guys have been great for us. Shelby Harris with the big block kick the other day. The entire defensive line right now. All I ask is that they go out, play extremely hard. Okay, play extremely hard with a lot of effort. Make sure they're running to the ball. Make sure they're being violent. Make sure they're penetrating, being disruptive, and just contribute in some way, shape, or form. Contribute to helping this team win. Good. Thank you, guys.